Well, it's Tuesday, and that means King Z and I are going to go ahead and get rolling on Skeleton Crew episode 4, answering all the big questions to get this video out to you guys. Hopefully by Thursday, we're on good track for that. And the biggest question of the day I have, and I'm going to ask King Z, and I don't know why we just didn't ask this question in episode 1. Let me bring him in, though. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Dude, there we go. So these kids, they're in space. They got a spaceship. It works. Nobody thought that there was a button that just scrolls through the GPS settings where they could just go to last known location and just send that shit home. We needed a whole series for this. That's it. Really? This is what we're going to do?
Do a computer search in the navigation system.
I'm saying, dude, you pull up your phone right now. You get on the Waze app, right? It's got the last 70 places you've been in your car. You don't need to remember how to get to them all. You don't even need to remember the names. I've been in plenty of places I can't remember the names. But here we are. These kids think they need to fly all 47 trillion parsecs around the galaxy to get back to Attin. I don't remember no Attin. Like, how many times is that guy going to say that shit in this episode? Answer 7. It's 7 times he says it. It's crazy. A lot.
I'm glad you took the time to count it because, boy, did we listen to it.
Dude, listen, if it was a drinking game, you'd be dead. I mean, you might not be dead. You've got some prior military experience with drinking games. I'm a good college boy that studied hard and didn't do all that nonsense. That's different. But dude, I don't know. We were just saying before the show started, I think the winds are changing a little bit on this series. I'm not too impressed by what I saw here. It felt very MacGuffin, despite them trying to do some different stuff. I was almost reminded a little bit of like a Star Trek episode where they went down to planet whatever, met a new culture, had to navigate the culture, and then achieve an objective by the end. But everything just happened. There was literally no friction, no conflict. Barely an obstacle to hurdle at all. I'm like, okay. And it was 40 minutes. Like, I don't know. I honestly don't remember what hung anybody up here, except when the droid does his thing at the end. We'll talk about that clearly. Inspired by the thumbnail.
That's about the most interesting thing that happened on this. Yeah. You got 40 minutes of them whining about how war's bad.
Yep.
And then you have a 2-second emotional by Fern, the first time she's shown emotion in the show.
Probably the best scene.
And then, and then Win being Win, touching everything he's not supposed to.
Dude, I honestly, I think the more of the 4 episodes now, this ain't no Percy Jackson. Sorry. No. Like, I was hoping Wim would be Percy a little bit. Like, he'd be that, I'm on the adventure. I'm going to be all, confident and do what I got to do. I'll make a mistake that gets somebody hurt, but then I'll have to learn from it and overcome. And maybe that's what the Jude Law character was going to be, something of a rapscallion, but a mentor at heart. And be like, listen, kid, you lost that one. You don't have to like it. Like Indiana Jones style, like that kind of thing. But we're not getting anything close to that in this show at this point. I'm definitely starting to sour on, especially Wim. I don't get it. And there was that one part into that emotional Fern scene where he's like, I never could have gotten us this far. You're great. I'm like, dude, I wanted you to be in charge, but like, you haven't done dick in 4 episodes to show me why it should have been you, other than you're the eager one. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like it's
and that's what she said too. She's like, why do I always have to figure everything out? Right.
I'm 12.
You can't tell me that I'm great and then expect me to solve all the problems. That doesn't fit.
And she did. But then she did.
And then she did. And then she did. Literally the next line of dialogue.
Yeah. I think she took 3 steps towards the camera and then was like, aha, urethra. I figured it. You're like, no, that's not how that goes. Not how that works.
Yeah, they're taking away the mystery. They're taking away the fun of it. The joke seemed forced in this one. Like, it wasn't as fun as the first 3 episodes.
Forced? No. Not even a forced pun? Okay.
No.
It's not that type of video tonight, fellas. Apparently, we're not doing the in studio humor.
Exactly as my tagline says. This episode just Star Wars itself.
Yeah, I'm glad we're talking taglines because the dude wears my planet thing. The first 30 seconds of this episode, I was both intrigued and a little angered, right? Because they touched down on a planet and like, oh my god, we're home! Like, yay! And I'm like, wait, what? We escaped the pirate sellout thing. We escaped pirate colony. And then we get sold out by Jude Law's former partner in crime, now frenemy, whatever. And like, we're home. Like, that's it. Like, we got this star map and like, we're there, we're done. And then I'm like, oh, okay. It's actually shades of Battlestar Galactica because they touched down on old Earth and it's nuked. You know what I mean? Like, everything's ruined. But the intriguing thing is it's nearly like an exact replica of where they're from At Attin. Like, oh no, that's the supervisor's tower. That's my mom's job. That's where we live over here.
It was built exactly the same way.
Exactly the same, because it's one of those OG, what do they say, 6, 7, 8 original Old Republic planets or whatever they said.
They're like the safe haven planets where they're supposed to be.
Old, but they go back.
Yeah.
They go
to the Old
back.
Republic time. Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, okay, there's some mystery here, but then literally everything that happened from the moment Totally Not Girl Boss character showed up with unnecessary parkour.
That's what I was saying too. I'm like, do you have to slide right there?
When she slid down, like there's that when she was leaving the first time, she steps up off whatever bench and does the flip.
Yeah. And then we got to be quiet that they're coming. And then she jumps and does a double kick to a bus door and then hops in there. I'm like, that was unnecessary.
You know what's funny about that, right? I watched her drop kick that door, right? And I'm looking on the side of where she kicked, like on that perpendicular angle. There was no back. So like they literally could have just walked around it and like not drop kick the door to get in, thereby raising the noise and alerting their enemies to where they were.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a riot. I'm like, I don't like this chick. I liked how she ended up, but she had a very grating, very from that Willow series, like this 12-year-old female is like the captain of the guard, her father's right hand. I'm like, that whole cultural thing. Like I said, they tried to do a Star Trek, we respect our kids, we treat them as warriors, we need them to survive. I'm like, no, no. I know that exists in real life, but it's weird. It's weird in Star Wars, and you only do that when you have no other options. And it didn't look like they were hurting for adults, so no. I don't know. I don't know. I thought that was weird. But what did you think of the respect our children as warriors and?
As we've seen, like in different cultures, that is a thing where there's child warriors. You go to Native American, like I think 14 you become a warrior, where you can go on the hunting parties and stuff like that. So there is that in the culture, but I think it was a lot forced in this. And as we were watching it, we were pointed out that their accents are like different. Like it's lesser in the adults and it's really strong in the kids, when it should be the exact opposite.
Let me tell you what happened is that they put out the casting call and said, we need a female gymnast between 12 and 14 that can execute these stunts. And that girl could do the stunts. She just happened to have that thick ass accent. That's it. Like that's how that job was had. Because Pops didn't have that at all. Yeah.
And then I love in this series, especially this episode, you take 3 steps away from someone and you talk to someone, and it's like they can't hear you.
Right.
Like, they're not even whispering. They're talking a little low, but it's like Oracle over here can't hear me when I'm doing this.
Right. That's with noise canceling headphones. Like just, I don't know, man. This whole thing felt very MacGuffin-y, it was just A to B to C, and not enough interesting happened along the way, like at all. Like they touch down on this planet, they get captured almost immediately. It kind of kicks off. This was the Neel episode, and I think you predicted that an episode or two ago. I said I think each one of these kids is going to get like the thing to do, and I think you specifically said Neel's kind of the coward in the group, wants to be home by the street lights, doesn't want to do the event. He's basically Bilbo. I'm not going to go. Nah, no event. No, thank you. Good morning. Like we're done. And so this is his episode. We'll talk about him in a minute. But they get captured immediately. They've Captain Fern, who threw the grown-up off the bridge. And for a second, I was like, this dude needs to throw this chick out the window. And then I remembered, there's a droid here that could literally just crush his spine. And it answers to her. So that's why he complied. Right. But they leave him on the ship to set up the babysitter arc. That was actually kind of funny.
That was about the best joke. Yeah.
Come on, baby. Babysitting protocol initiated. Up the ramp, baby. That was all right. That wasn't too bad because Nick Frost is Nick Frost. And
Nick Frost is hilarious. So,
but they separate them, and obviously so they could get into the whole, the kids have to prove their worth, because they want to go somewhere dangerous, but like the faction leader doesn't want to take them. I'm like, but you put your kids on the front line. What do you care if it's dangerous if they go 80 kilometers? Not even 80. It was like less than a kilometer. Really, it's like less than a day's walk.
Yeah, the sun didn't change angles. Right. It was that close.
It was one day. And on top of that, I'm like, bro, just give me the coordinates. I have a ship with a droid. Like we're cool. Like you got the drop on us. We had no guns, but now they have guns, and that shit was kind of funny too. Like, all right, so these random kids show up. They're obviously from like peaceful, like, UN world, right? Why are we giving them all guns, and why are we letting like Wim pick up like the the Mandalorian heavy blaster that like Jon Favreau's character used in like Mando season 3, like the minigun.
Yeah.
Like, why is this kid powering this gun up? This is weak. Like, I don't get it. It was just a rough watch.
And then
to watch what they were doing.
And you brought up what they did to, was it John Nodwood?
Jananana. Hey.
John Nod. I'm trying to say that again.
Yeah, not gonna work. Not gonna be working on the show anymore. Not getting to season 2, fellas. Sorry.
He does something really cool. Saves them, buys the
cool.
things back, and then they downgrade it immediately. What do you mean? Did you steal my money?
Yeah. That was, and I thought that again, that was a nice bit of setup and payoff there for the show, because he's stuck on the ship, so he's gonna do his pirate snooping thing, and you're like, oh, scumbag, took the girl's money, yada yada. But then they immediately have him also get captured like 10 feet from the ship. Like, he's down at the bottom of the ramp. Yeah. And the Hattans or Hattans or whatever they were, like, they pick him up and he's like, shoot me. I'm like, that's how I feel. All right, thanks, John and Anna. Like, that's we all just shoot me. Like, I was enjoying this until that, and because then you see no interaction. He reappears. It's the opposite of setup and payoff, really. I guess it's like it's automatic. He just shows up having spent her money to bring them their llamas back, or EOPs or whatever they're called. Like, there was no test of strength, no, you know what I mean? Like, there was no battle of wits. Like, you didn't have to like
no airing,
do any of the grievances. No airing of grievances, nothing. Like, you just happen to have the money that they needed to buy more guns to keep the Civil War going. Like, okay, that seems convenient. And wasn't it Neel's money? Like, maybe she had money also. They probably all had money. But the girl said it was hers. That was
Wim talking.
I thought the subtitle said it was what's her name? I thought it was Fern. No, it was Wim.
It was Wim. Yeah,
like I said, any of them could have had money. It was just lunch money to him. So stand to reason the supervisor's daughter had cash on hand too.
So the old Republican currency here reminds me of Euro Trip, when they go to that Slavic nation and he has a dime.
I've never seen Euro Trip. I've only seen Road Trip.
They had Euro Trip, and he had a dime, and he gives it as a tip, and he's like, "You see this? I buy my own hotel now," and it's just the American dime. And he's like, "You gotta love these exchange rates."
And it's like we were talking last night on Dune, where like the amount of spice that was in the back of the bar could buy the planet, not the Imperial planet, but like a planet.
Yeah,
like, okay, that makes sense. So let's talk about Neel, because I guess this was his episode. So he does, like you said, he's 9. And he gives the 13-year-old, I mean, maybe she's 13, 14. I mean, she's definitely not a grown up. You know what I mean? She's a kid.
Yeah.
And he's giving her the speech about war is bad and fighting is bad. And this chick's like, yeah, bro, I know it's bad, but like, we're stuck here. Like, this is a survival situation. Like, what do you want us to do?
It's coming
from I would just apologize.
The sheltered, who's lived a sheltered life his whole life.
But it plays out like a Disney Star Wars show would, where like his message was correct, I guess. Like, I don't know. I don't know. There's just no conflict at all to like sink into here. Like, I didn't need a knockdown brawl at the end of this show. Like, when they're putting the kids at the front of the marching formation. Like, okay, this seems like not a good strategy either. But okay, they're cannon fodder, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly what they were going to be used for.
You know what I mean? But I'm like, is this show really going to end with like a shootout? Because I don't see that happening. And then like Neel starts walking out in front. I'm like, they're going to fucking shoot the blue kid. Oh my God, they're actually going to do it. They're going to shoot his ass. This will be the thing that wakes Wim up.
Yeah, he's going to lose an arm, and then he's going to become like a war hero after that.
Right.
Has an eye patch and a bandage around the trunk.
The bandage around the trunk would be kind of funny. But like, I don't know, man. It was just Dullsville.
It was
Dullsville. They break out the anti-aircraft gun. Don't use it. Like, come on. That's the biggest Chekhov's gun in history.
Yeah. But then we get to the final scene where they get to was it Fallen Sanctuary that they called it?
The Fallen Sanctuary, Fallen Sanctuary.
Yeah, where they find the coordinates to all the planets except for theirs, because it's been destroyed. And then you find out Smee did it.
And they're just calling him 33 now.
Yeah, 33. Yeah.
And who did it? who so the droid smashed the coordinates.
Yeah.
Right.
Because his old captain was trying to hide the treasure, and then told him to like forget everything. And that's why he's like, I don't know anything about that.
But then Fern figures out, because she's the best as ever, and we know that if she just orders him to unremember or re-remember,
Memory override.
Some memory override. But didn't she do that in like episode 1 when she was like, I'm the captain now? Like, isn't that good enough? Like,
Yeah.
you just answer to the captain, right?
To me.
Where's that at? I don't know about no At Attin.
I am the captain now.
Now, if she said that, that would have been kind of funny. But was this the first episode that went by where they didn't quote old Star Wars in some obnoxious capacity? Because I don't remember anything here.
No, I don't remember.
Usually I'm sensitive to them breaking the dialogue back in. I don't think they did.
But yeah, then 33 goes crazy, and then of course the off switch is the big counter move here.
It seems like a design flaw in a battle droid, doesn't it?
Yeah,
something you could just creep behind him and just tap it. It's not under a casing. It's not bolted or anything. It's not.
It doesn't even have like something. Yeah, it's something you can lift up and then push. It's like a self-destruct button out in the open. What does this button do?
It's not even like one of those old school small light switches. It's like the big half one that you can push with your whole hand. It's like you really can't miss if you have to backslap them a little bit.
Like the ones we had in our dining room growing up in the 80s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we got big switch, big switch. Can't miss it. I like that John and I are not going to work here anymore. It's like he's like the kids all fall down, which makes sense. Like it's Goonies. They're supposed to fall down and be scared. And the grown up is supposed to do the right thing. And again, he's like, all right, I'm not going to let this kid get smushed by a giant robot. Like F this droid. And he's got a thing against droids already, which they haven't really. I really wanted more of that, maybe we get more of it later, like maybe in the fallout from the end of this episode. Wim asks, hey, how did you know to do that to 33? And he'd be like, I've got a lot of experience with droids letting me down, like another line like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really like nail that home. But yeah, so 33 falls on Wim, on Neel. And, and of course falls down perfectly with the push-up position, so he doesn't crush his stupid ass. Well, that's convenient. Not bad. And then what happens there?
Blue goo.
Dude, that would have been funny. And then Neel passes out because he's kind of a chicken shit, and that's the episode. Like literally the last line of dialogue is he passed out.
Yeah.
Bloop. Stars credit. Like that's it. Well, we'll see you guys. That's it for this episode. Like, yeah, I'm like, really? That's it? And so you know what that means is next week I guarantee is 26 minutes because it's going to be the fallout from this immediate scene and then a stupid ass short episode. Yep, exactly.
That, or it's going to be 5 minutes of them on their ship, and then the rest of the episode of the pirates chasing them.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. Pirate chase is probably due now, huh?
Yeah.
Like they're in hot pursuit.
But the title characters are not going to be nowhere to be seen. It's just them getting ready to follow, and like you see them go to the first planet, then they find the star tracker, and then they go to the war planet, and then they head out.
So we'll have to put a pin in that and check that out and see if the prediction holds. But I hope it just, I don't know, this one just felt, I don't necessarily think it was better or worse than other stuff. I think maybe it's just wearing thin, that it really is so tracing paper thin plot and execution wise that I'm just like, I just don't care. Like the droid's okay as a character. John Anad is okay. The kids aren't that great. They're not really that compelling. And I figured out why. It's because it's like when you watch something like the Goonies or when you watch Stranger Things, you get Mikey. He's the leader of that group. Like he knows about stuff that they're going to go do. You know what I mean? And then, his older brother protects him. So that should have been the dynamic here. Is Wim should have been Mikey and Fern should have been Brandon from the Goonies, like keeping him safe, even though she was the rebel. Or in Stranger Things, it's Mike. Mike again. Mike is the leader of the group. Everybody else is a supporting character and big. But it's Mike's show and his relationship with 11.
And they set that at the very beginning because he was the DM in their Dungeons & Dragons game.
Right, dude, very first scene, exactly. Yep. But like with this show here, they're really trying to maximize the ensemble thing. And I'm like, that works on Game of Thrones. I don't think it needed to work on this. It should have been one kid on the adventure and then like getting the taste of adventure and being scared. Like, there should have, that battle scene at the end should have involved a couple of shots fired so Wim could learn it's not a game and that it is serious business out here in the galaxy. I mean, they've already been shot at by cops. So I guess maybe it just doesn't.
And apologizing doesn't solve all conflicts.
Right. And then there's that, sometimes that is what that is.
But I mean,
even then, like,
I guess if you do go into a kid's mindset, they think that because, they apologize when they do wrong and then, things get better. So it could be that mindset for a kid just to give it the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. I think that's the level of the writing that the audience that they're writing toward is supposed to be that. But I think that's like a good kids show or a good kids movie uses that opportunity to interject some reality into what kids learn and grow into. Like when I just saw Wild Robot, like they have a rescue sequence at the end with the robot and the fox are trying to rescue animals from a blizzard. They don't get them all. And they actually let it hit you 80s style. Like one of the animals doesn't survive. They don't show anything. They just cover the burrow back over and the fox is all down. And the robot's like, we can't get them all, but we can get the next one. So you use that moment to like inject that into kids instead of all the hunky dory stuff. But I don't know, man. Of course, we're going to watch the rest of it. It's not like it was terrible, but I'm like, I'm checking my phone. That's not a good sign.
This is the halfway point, right? It's 8 episodes.
Yeah, 4 of 8. Yep, 8. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it doesn't take that hard left.
We'll see what happens. I mean, as long as they don't MacGuffin their way into that's my big concern is they MacGuffin their way through 3 episodes. They end up home in the last 5 minutes of episode 8, and then it's and then it's over.
Yeah.
Like there could have been an adventure story here, and it's only been 60% adventure so far.
All right, so going to what I would do, I would have to totally go with the Quantum Leap ending.
Oh, they never made it home.
They never make it home.
It's the most oppressing show ending ever in history. That's like that screen title is still burned in my brain. Yeah. Sam Elliott. No, not Sam Elliott. What was his name?
Sam Beckett.
Yeah, Sam Beckett never made it home. Like, that sucks. Oh, well. And then we should wrap it up then, dude. I don't remember, dude. Were we doing number ratings on this show, or were we just talking about the show? I don't remember.
I think we were just talking about the show. But let's get your who do you think the original captain was?
Okay, I forgot about that. I wanted to think it was John Ananananad, but like he doesn't know the droid.
Yeah,
so I'm guessing it's not the droid. I don't think we get OG captain. I don't think.
I think the OG captain is Wynn's dad.
Supervisor. You think it's his dad? Okay, that'd be a nice way to tie some stuff back. He is kind of all pencil pushery geek pushing the glasses up things. So, I mean that'd be a good subversion there. It could be any one of the parents. I don't know.
Or it could be the unseen supervisor so far.
I don't think they're going to tell us. I honestly don't. I think they've written that out. That's just that's not even a mystery box. That's just something else that exists outside the show. But I guess we'll see. And if they reveal it, it'll be dead ass last and whatever.
Yeah.
We'll go from there. So I'll rating average, C-, C, something like that. I'll probably pass. Not enough of a road bump to get me to not watch the rest of your show.
I think
messaging absent. I don't care.
I think it's appropriate that it's on Disney Plus, so it's a D+.
That's a D+. That's almost failing as Disney Plus typically does. So I don't know. All right, let's wrap this one up, and we'll catch everybody on the next one for Skeleton Crew episode 5. We'll see you guys.
Well, see ya.